All right, how's that? Say yeah, 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 say yeah. Oh shoot, it almost just fell. Anyway. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, it's good, you too. It's good, family. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Oh, you good? You good? Okay, I'm good too. You know what I'm saying? What's good, YouTube fam? Hope you're doing good, moving good, feeling good, living good, waking up good, and making good decisions. I know my floor is loud, but ignore that. Ain't nobody take the focus on that. Man. Oh my God. I don't know how much time has passed since I just passed my test. But I just passed my test, man, and as you just seen, you saw my initial reaction to me passing. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? My glasses are a little dirty. But anyway, man, life just been kind of busy, man. Life been just moving. You know, ever since I passed, I've been trying to find a job. Cause you know I work for Pepsi, but the Pepsi truck drivers are not hiring right now. And honestly, I kind of just want to go right into a job. So if you got any trucking jobs, if anybody have any relative experience or in the same field as I'm in, then comment below where you think I should go from here. I've been looking at a couple joints. I've been looking at like Schuster's, Roll, if I'm pronouncing that right. I looked at like Gypsum, something like that. Like, I just been looking at a couple joints, and that's kind of where I'm at in life. You know what I'm saying? But this video is coming to you kind of late because, bro, your boy been busy, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, I've been trying to get my stream back set up. You know, you can see on the screen we got Kai Sinat on the screen right now. But yeah, I've been trying to get the stream back set up. I got my mic, I got my lights and everything like that. And we trying to get this room together. For those who don't know, 2 years ago, I was pretty consistent streaming, but I stopped. And I don't know why I stopped, but I did. But I want to get back into it. So anyway, I'm not trying to make this video too long. So I want to tell y'all, yes, I passed. It was dope. I had a different examiner. It was a man this time, and he was real cool. Nothing against the women, you know what I'm saying? But it was just a man. That's just who he was. And he was cool. He was mad cool. So I'm actually I wrote some notes down. And I want to tell y'all the process of getting your CDL. All right, how's that? Is that better? Okay. You sure? It'll have to do. All right, check me out. This is the process of getting a CDL. I got some notes that I wrote here that I'm about to tell you. Now, number one, if you want to get your CDLA, now I got my A, now my B, I did get my chauffeur's license, but I upgraded. So number one is the first step that it is to getting your CDLA is to get your permit. Yes, if you're gonna go through truck school, you have to get your permit to drive the trucks. And how do you do that is you take 3 different tests. You have to study for 3 different tests rather. You gotta study for your general knowledge test. You gotta test the air brakes, and you gotta test combinations. So general knowledge is like, you know, how far should you be behind another car, or like, what does this sign mean? Something like that, right? The air brakes you're learning all about the brakes and all about how the brakes function, you know, because, You know, some trucks have air brakes and so on. And the combinations is like the coupling system. I think it's been a little minute, but it's like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Just go to the Secretary of State and they give you a commercial driver license book, and you can learn all this stuff there, or you can download the app. And there's other endorsements you can get too. These are like the required tests that you have to take in this time in 2024. But you can also get other endorsements like hazmat endorsements, tank endorsements, double, triple trailer endorsements. So you can hold, sorry, I got text. So you can hold other things. Number 2 is the online courses you have to take. Bro, let me tell you about these online courses, man. These joints was crazy. You get like, I want to call them modules. You get like 30 modules, but they each fit like 15 to 60 videos in them, like 60 mini videos, you know what I'm saying? And you can't skip them, you can't speed them up, you can't do none of that. You just gotta sit there and watch them. And it's crazy to me, cause it's like, bro, this like 500 videos. If you do the math, at least like 500 videos. So that definitely sucked, but it's full of like everything you need to know when driving the truck. It's full of like your everything you can think of, like driving in the winter, like when to push your brakes, when to turn your turn signals on, when to turn them off, how to do emergency stops, where to hold your manuals at, where to, like, it's everything. So you learn about everything in those online courses, but you have to complete them or you know, you won't be able to get your license. It's a lot of videos, bro. Number three is the academy. The academy, typically, I believe, this is just how mine works, so I can speak off my own experience. The academy is a 4-week program. So essentially you get in 160 hours of driver's training. 160 hours. So it's a long program, but you know, in my situation, if you watch previous videos, I was only there 2 days a week because of my full-time job. I can only be there 2 days a week. So it took me a span of like 3.5 months to get my license. So in the program, it's consistent of 3 things: your pre-trip inspection, your parking, and going on the road. These are the 3 things that you're gonna test on when you're ready to test to obtain your license. You have to test on those 3 things. The pre-trip inspection is when you inspect the entire truck, and that's broken up too. You inspect inside of the cab, you inspect the engine, you inspect the driver fuel compartment area, that's like the door and the cab floor and your rear view mirrors, like anything driver area-ish, you know what I'm saying? Then you inspect your airline and electrical connectors. Those are the hoses and the hoses that connects from the tractor to the trailer. And you also inspect your coupling system. That's when you learn about your release arm, your safety latch, your locking jaw and kingpin, your mountain bolts, your platform, the frame that connects the trailer to the tractor. You got to learn about all the like parts that do that. You learn a whole lot. That's kind of like, it's a lot too, because you get like a thick packet of paper. It's not too thick. But it's like 4 or 5 pages in that you pretty much got to memorize. You know what I'm saying? You looking at everything, like let's say we're in the engine and I look at the air coolant. You got to look at the air coolant and say, the air coolant, not cracked, been broken, properly mounted, no leaks, filled to the proper level, and the cap is tight. You got to remember to say that for that. But everything, not cracked, been broken, properly mounted, there's a maximum 3-4 inch play when I press in the middle of it, there's this and that, there's no leaks, this is gear driven. Like, you got to learn all that stuff and memorize it. Moving on. Second thing is the parking. And there's three things in the parking. There's three different types of parking that you have to do and that you test on. The first one is the straight back. That's just when you're driving the trailer and you're going straight back. And you gotta, usually it's an empty trailer, right? When you're testing, it's gonna be empty. So that means in the empty trailer, it like moves a lot and wobbles a lot. So you have to kind of like adjust your wheel as you're going back to keep the trailer straight. So, but that's the easiest of the three. Then your second one is your offset. You'll either offset to the left or offset to the right. Offsetting is we're going from the straight back. Now you have the parking spot over here and you have to like park in there. So if I'm offsetting to the left, I'm turning my wheel to the right to get the tractor to go this way. And then I start turning my wheel to the left. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to explain that. Then you got your 90-degree angle parking. When you're doing the 90s, that just means you have a parking spot right here, but your truck is right here. And you just have to do a 90-degree to get in that parking spot. That one was actually fairly easy for me. I was most worried about the offset parking, but to be honest, I did it perfectly. Usually you have to get out of the truck and look around and, you know, adjust, see where you're at. But I did it with no pull-ups. I did it with no, like, I didn't have to get out of the truck, none of that. Now we go on the road. If you pass all those two things, if you pass both of those two things, then you go on the road. You have to pass them in that order or else you can't advance. So you gotta pass your pre-trip parking, then you can advance to the, no, I'm sorry. You have to pass your pre-trip inspection, then you can advance to the parking. You have to pass the parking, then you can advance to going on the road. That's the way it works. So when you go on the road, there's a couple things that you have to be alert of. You know, be alert of all the signs. You know, make sure you always know what the speed limit is. You know, when you're going through an intersection, they want you to visibly look left and right as you pass through the intersection. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. They ask you questions, like if you pass a sign, they'll ask you, could you tell me what that sign just said? You know, and if it was like, you know, a pedestrian sign, you got to say, oh yeah, it said pedestrians ahead, you know, or pedestrians crossing. It's two different pedestrian signs. So yeah, you know, bridge measurements, going under a bridge, you might pass it and they'll go, did you happen to see how the height of that bridge? And you got to be like, yeah, it's 13 feet, 10 inches, or, you know what I'm saying? Be alert to all signs. You feel me? Yeah, so this on the road will consist of, you know, being alert of all signs, getting on the highway. You'll perform an emergency stop. That's where you stop on the side of the road. And there's things you got to memorize and say for that. Approaching a railroad, there's a certain thing you have to say when you're approaching the railroad, and you also have to visibly look left and right when you're crossing that. And yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much how it was. It was a lot of work, you know. I'm trying to just sum it up. So yeah, you know, there's you got to get your permit. There's 3 different tests when you get your permit. You have to then do online courses. There's like at least 500 videos that you have to watch when you do your online course, you know. And then you have 4 weeks of training at like minimum at the academy, where you got to learn your pre-trip inspection. You got to learn the parking, and then you go on the road. You're practicing going on the road back and forth. When I knew that I was good on the road is when my instructor had me go pick his daughter up out in, I forgot where we even went to, but it was an hour away. So I had to drive an hour towards the school. that we picked his daughter up from. And when I did that, like with no error, I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready. You know, even though I failed the first one. But, you know, second one, we got it. I only failed the first one because I didn't know, man. I didn't know. Either I didn't know or I completely forgot that they do not want you to turn on blinking left lights. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the left turning lane and you got a blinking red light, do not go until it is green. That's all I got to say. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't go till it's green. Yeah. I gotta keep moving on. I can't get caught up in these haters trying to prove I'm wrong. The imitators trying to illustrate the innovators. I don't put no paper in the people trying to instigate us to be doing evil. Rather pay the ones that renovate us.